Hello again everyone, this is Shaitan bringing you game number 3 of the BlizzCon 2011 Losers Bracket Semifinals between Complexity's NaNiWa and Gamma Bear's Sen. So this is the third game of a best of 3. The winner of this will advance to the Losers Bracket Finals, play MVP, and guarantee themselves at least $10,000 worth of prize money, whereas the loser is out of the tournament and does not receive any. So, spawning in the upper left location, we have the red Zerg Gamania Sen. And spawning in the right position, mid-right position, as the green Protoss is Complexity's NaNiWa. Now, in both the previous games, NaNiWa led off with a Forge Fast Expand, and it looks like he's going to be doing the same thing here. He's positioned the pylon at the bottom of the ramp. He's probably going to drop a forge somewhere around here, followed up with a cannon and then a nexus. Maybe if he decides to be greedy or sees that Sen is going for some type of economic focus build, he'll try to do a nexus first, but it doesn't look like that. He's actually planted the forge already at 12, a little bit earlier than the previous game, which is odd considering the distance here is going to be a lot longer than close positions Shattered Temple, but I guess NaNiWa hopefully has a reason for what he's doing. It looks like Sen is trying to go for the 15 hatch. He should get there before the probe does. Will he have 300 minerals? He looks like he's going to get it down if he goes now, and he does. Hopefully NaNiWa doesn't try to cheese him out with some sort of cannon rush. Sen would probably be able to hold it off. It doesn't look like you can do one of those weird 3 pylon blocks, except maybe there. But fortunately for Sen, it doesn't look like NaNiWa is doing anything of the sort. It looks like he's just getting the scouting info. He will probably drop the Nexus right away, and he's letting his minerals build up to over, the 150 that he would need for the cannon. So the Nexus is going to be going down right about the same time that the spawning pool started for Sen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Sen do something like try to throw down a quick third. It does look like he's NaNiWa is kind of floating around the pylons. Oh, and he gets a pylon down right here, but he's bringing down a bunch of drones. He's blocking this spot from right here from being having a pylon be dropped, and it looks like NaNiWa cancel it. He knows that the cannon rush isn't. Apologies for not calling that out earlier. So with that in mind, it looks like NaNiWa has lost 75 minerals, which could be important early on, but it probably isn't going to make that big of a difference as the game progresses. NaNiWa does drop his Nexus Gateway and the Photon Cannon. He's also dropping a pylon right here so that Zerglings won't be able to, harass these 2 or 3 mineral patches down the road. Over on Sen's side of the base, it looks like he's just droning up, getting double queens. We still don't see any sort of gas. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hatchery being dropped here, probably as soon as this Overlord, or as soon as he gets up to the 300 minerals, he should be bringing down a drone over. He is ahead 22-19 harvesters, and the game looks to be settling into one of those build up your armies, and then, maybe in 6 or 7 minutes we'll have a fight. NaNiWa has taken both of his assimilators. He has also let a bunch of his chrono boost build up, but I think that was unintentional. It looks like he's just chrono boosting his Nexus now rather than trying to pump it all into the warp gate research. It hasn't even the Cybercore hasn't even finished yet. But over on Sen's side, we see that he's actually taking himself a gas. I think it's because this pylon came up. The pylon was cancelled, but Sen decided to go for the greedy gold base since he saw that he couldn't take this third. But NaNiWa is going to scout it. I don't know if Sen noticed the probe screwed into vision of the hatchery. There's really no way to check it right now. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, the Zergling should see it. And the Zergling's hot in pursuit of the probe. So we're not going to see this game ended, or I guess this hatchery's life ended with any sort of weird late game cannon rush. But it should die, and Sen is going to get up this third. This kind of puts a time limit on NaNiWa. He needs to do some sort of damage to this third base before Sen's economy explodes. He's going to be able to hopefully put some pressure on just due to the close distance between the gold and NaNiWa's natural compared to the NaNiWa's natural and the normal third of the Zerg player. But Sen has a pretty good idea of what NaNiWa is doing. This pylon position might mean that he's going to warp in some Zealots right here to try and kind of sneak him past the front ramp where the Zergling is watching. We see that he's actually going 1 gate Robo, so he's probably going to tech up to some quick Colossus and then power, oh, an Immortal coming out. Interesting. And here NaNiWa is dropping down a couple of gateways. He's up to 3 right now, so 3 gate, 4 gate Robo. It'll be... I wonder if he's just going to try and power up to some sort of timing attack design to take out this third. I mean, Sen is getting up the Roach Warren, which seems to be pretty standard for Zerg players to take out Protoss aggression, but I think this aggression is going to hit a little bit earlier than most of the 6-7 gate attacks that are typical. Sen is going to scout out those 3 gateways, but I don't think he knows about the Robo facility or the Immortal, and NaNiWa's actually hiding it back here just in case. Sen does have an Overlord right here, but he's not doing any sort of scouting with it. I think that if NaNiWa keeps pumping out these Immortals with their new 6th range, they're going to be able to do significant damage to the Roachling army, you know, make Immortal Zealot, and that's going to be able to take out Roachling very, very easily. Sen is actually pushing up out the front. I don't think this is very well advised. Maybe hiding him here, but just this push. Oh, never mind. This isn't enough armies. Like the sentries, if it had been maybe Zealot Immortal heavy rather than Sentry with a couple of Zealots and a couple of Immortals, that might have been effective. But right now, these slings plus the 20 that are in production are just going to be able to completely overwhelm this, especially with Force Field. I guess the Force Fields do block off the Roaches, which is a good thing. But now the Zerglings are going to be able to stream in the base. He's trying to wall off the base, and he does. He gets a beautiful warp in. And then the Zerglings cannot go through. The Roaches are building up at the front, though. If he tries to push this further, I don't know if it's going to be effective. The Immortals shelling out fire from the high ground combined with the force fields means the Roaches are probably going to crumble very, very quickly. Sen is up in supply by about 30, but a lot of that is... None of that's in the workers, actually. Sen cut production at about 40 probes, or 40 drones, and now they're even. He's just continuing to make drones right now. But without that economic advantage right now, it's about on even footing. I think, especially since NaNiWa has the higher tech army, he has the Robo facility up. He's making observers and Immortals. He also is beginning to add on more gateways and a Twilight Council to continue teching up the tech tree, and he should be able to get some sort of AoE. He's actually moving out to do some daylight to harass the base, but it doesn't look like anything substantive is going to come about from it. Over on the Zerg side of things, he's actually making 14 drones. He's seeing that this push. Oh, and he gets. Okay, the force fields go down. He's gonna be able to take out 1 Immortal, but I think that's. I mean, it's not ideal for NaNiWa anyway, but it wasn't game ending because he was able to position the force fields to keep the Roaches out. But now, if Sen can actually just run up, the force fields are gone, and the sentries are back right now. I think Sen missed an opportunity to run up there if he wanted to. But over in Sen's base, we see that he's actually jumped ahead in worker count, 62 to 48. He just made around 14 drones to get, I guess, closer to the goal he wants. He's building this fire. He's making a macro hatchery at his natural. This means he's going to be able to explode in macro. I think the problem, he should have just taken this third, right? He has pretty good control of the map. He has a big he has a big group of forces here. He's going to be expanding here eventually. Why not just take this right here? He's building 14 Roaches. He's getting Glial Reconstitution and Burrow, but I don't know if his army is going to be well suited to take this out with just these 2 Immortals pumping damage with Zealots and Sentry sort of keeping the brunt of the army away. This is going to be a very difficult army for Sen to take out, especially because they're even on upgrades 1-0. This, I don't think that Sen's army is very well equipped to take this right now. Like, he's going to have to do some delay. He might have to sacrifice the gold base. He has mined a fair bit, about 500 from each of the mineral patches, but it's going to be a pretty big blow to Sen, especially because he doesn't have another third base to fall back on since he chose to take the macro hatch instead. You see here that Sen is going to be attacking, or NaNiWa is going to be attacking the base. He's pulling the drones, and he's going to try and flank with a couple Roaches from the side. NaNiWa decides to force field up. He needs to force field off the backside. Oh, but Sen is just going to go for the counterattack into the main. No, he decides to pull back. Sen's pulling all of his drones from the gold. He's trying to flank and pincer the Protoss army, but I don't think it's being enough. Force fields are keeping the majority of the Zerg army away, and they're letting the 3 Immortals just do absolutely terrible damage to the Roaches. He doesn't have any sort of answer to the Immortals, such as the Hydras or like upgraded Zerglings. This means that the army is just melting away before the Protoss army, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to leave. NaNiWa's army is going to take out the majority of Sen's forces, but Sen isn't going to be left with that much. I mean, NaNiWa is continuing to make Immortals. He's continuing to make gateway units, and while Sen has successfully held off the attack, he also lost about 20 drones. His economy is in shambles. He doesn't have a mining third base. He just has about 17 roaches, and NaNiWa has 3 immortals. If he just gets a couple of sentries, maybe some zealots to sort of buffer the damage, I think he's going to be able to hold it off, but whether it remains to be seen whether he's going to be able to transition out of this into getting a third base. I don't think so. I think that losing that army is going to be devastating to NaNiWa's ability to win this game. I think it's just going to be a matter of time before Sen is going to be able to take out everything. NaNiWa just needs to build up maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of units, do as much little snipes like what he just did right there with the 2 immortals as he can, and then eventually push out and hope that he can take out the entirety of the army. Oh, where is he? Doesn't have an observer here? I know he has 2 or 3 observer. He has 1 observer. Where is it? He needs that. Oh, there it is. It's back right now, but even with these, looks like 44 roaches, I think this is game over. I don't think NaNiWa has the economy. He's banking a couple hundred minerals. He's not warping. The Nexus goes down. This is just game over for NaNiWa. Sen looks like he's going to be advancing to face MVP in the bracket final. NaNiWa just let himself get caught out of position in that engagement down there. He got flanked from 3 sides. The drones, although they weren't doing that much damage, just the fact that they were able to sort of absorb shots from the Protoss army just meant that the roaches that were swinging around from the north and east side could rain fire down on the Protoss army with impunity. I think NaNiWa is just going to go for some type of big, I don't know, I hesitate to call it all in, but he's going to go all in trying to break out of here, see if he can take out this army, and when he fails to do so, I think he'll GG out. He hasn't attempted to rebuild his Nexus. He's relying completely on probably being able to take out this third base and seeing how it goes from there. But I think NaNiWa miscalculated. He should have just tried to set up a defensive position out here, take a third, and then maybe transition to some type of AoE, Colossus or High Templar, because you're really going to need that once Zerg gets into these macro situations. But the big attack is coming here. They're pretty decent force fields. I mean, they're keeping the majority of the roach ball away, but Sen can always just pull back, sneak in some roaches through any gaps in the force field and see how it goes. It's 170 to 100 supply. This does not look good for NaNiWa. I think, he probably thinks he has more army than he actually does. Those 10 changelings. Let's see. Oh, he's starting to kill them. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. Ooh, Manor Overseers. NaNiWa probably is not happy. And again, the attack comes in. More force will go up. Each time, NaNiWa loses some units. Sen uses some units. But Sen is able to replenish so much more efficiently than NaNiWa. NaNiWa's down to 70 supply. Sen still at 170. It's just a matter of time, and there's the GG.